All right. How's everybody doing today? It's a wonderful, gloomy April 12th. Yeah, not snowing, but it's foggy, rainy, cruddy in the midst of, everything else that's happening in the world. I hope everybody's doing all right. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to get into a little bit here. Couple things I want to cover first. Last week I talked about Kurt Cobain and all that kind of stuff, and I always, as much as I sound like a jerk here, but I always forget that Lane Staley actually passed on the same day. That's so weird. Fan of Alice in Chains. You should be. So you should probably, let's see here. Down in a Hole is my favorite Alice in Chains song. So you should go look at that. Be a good idea. The next day, April 6th, was the birthday and the day of Merle Haggard's passing. So kind of, cap that one off there. Check out Mama Tried. Excellent. And then Holding Things Together. Fantastic songs. And then also, let's see here. A couple days ago, John Prine passed away too. Not super familiar with John Prine before that. I've heard his name, obviously, and I've heard some of his stuff. One of the great American songwriters. Started in like 1970. So a super duper long career, lots of Grammy nominations and wins. Check out In Spite of Ourselves. I really enjoy that one. One that came off of his last album that he put out in 2018. It's called When I Get to Heaven. It's like a... there's a super youthful, fun side to kind of calling his shot. It's actually a really fun song. And then Summer's End is a fantastic song. It'll hit you in the feels for sure. So go check those out. Also today, actually, another one of my favorite bands, 311, Nick Hexum. It's his birthday today, number 50. So, excellent. You don't know 311? Well, you should. Put it in your life. Couple of things that are happening. Not only do I like music, but I like, UFC and pro wrestling, stuff like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that real quick, get that out of the way. This big rigmarole with all the, crap that's going on right now. But UFC 249, Dana White was adamant about putting this thing on. Got a private island, fight island as they call it, as he calls it. This thing was going to happen. And then because their programming is partnered through ESPN. ESPN's owned by Disney. I guess ESPN and Disney had to come down and be like, whoa. All this stuff's going on. Still want to throw a fight. Yeah, you should probably pull a plug on this thing. So after all this bending over backwards, put a card together. It was awesome looking card. And he's got to pull the plug. Totally get it. I don't know. I guess I understand, not everybody makes Conor McGregor money there. That's Conor McGregor and two other people probably that make that kind of money. But, I don't know why they didn't just cancel this thing. They should have, but hey, I'm not the boss. That's why I'm not a boss. So no, well, it was, Habib was out and then Gaethje was in, and it was going to be a craziness between Ferguson and Gaethje. I was really looking forward to that thing. You have excuse me. Francis Ngannou and Rosenstreich. They're those guys can throw bricks. So it was looking cool, but totally get it. They'll get all this. They'll be fine. This will all come back together, and hopefully we finally get Khabib and Ferguson for, the first time for the last time here. That'll be number 6 whenever they try to make this thing anyways, but it seems to be cursed, but oh well. All those fight fans, that's what we want. It's the fight that we want. And getting pulled again. But what can you do? What can you do? Got to keep people safe. Safe in the world of getting punched in the face. But I digress. So, also, WrestleMania 36 was last week. I didn't really cover any of it, or I didn't say anything about it actually. But that's I just wanted to. It was so big that it was too big for one night, so they had to do 2. It was weird. Most of the matches were really good, but it was weird. There was no crowd. They just did it in front of like the announcers and cameramen. It was very strange, and they call it WrestleMania. It was weird to watch. It was super weird to watch, but enjoyable at the same time. So I can't complain too much. I liked Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan. Sammy just being this chicken. He's got goons that can handle most of stuff, but he takes a good ass whipping. He takes a good ass whipping. And he just looks like he's gonna cry the entire time. He's not trying to be a tough guy whatsoever. The triple threat for the tag titles, that was pretty good though too. Those it was a ladder match. Those are train wrecks anyways, typically. It's just kind of the nature of the beast with that. But that was good, enjoyable. I liked Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. The Undertaker and Styles, their Boneyard match. You had no idea what that meant. Going into it, had no idea. I don't know. I haven't watched the TV shows. I didn't know if they put any backstory into it or whatever, but I had no idea what to expect, and that was surprisingly entertaining. That was really entertaining. It was a lot of fun. I liked it. And then night 2, Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's a star. Kind of knew that from, years prior. Charlotte's obviously she's the best woman's talent there's ever been in that company. Probably ever. Really. I mean, what can you say? She's fantastic. I liked Otis and Ziggler. Good story. Otis is a lot of fun. He's from northern Wisconsin. Of course, he's got to be a giant man that talks funny from Wisconsin. But hey, we'll take it. No, that was a lot of fun. Edge and Orton, I think, went 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes too long. But they beat the absolute freaking snot out of one another. Good time there. Wyatt and Cena, that was... oh, that was the damnedest thing, wasn't it? Firefly Funhouse match. Again, had no idea what to expect. It wasn't really a match. It was strange, but at the same time, you couldn't stop watching, so I guess that's good stuff. And then Drew winning the title over Lesnar. That was awesome. Good for him. He's been a fantastic talent for a long time and has really come back to that company with a fire lit under him. So that was awesome. That was good times. All right, let's see here. I touched on a little bit of something last week. Sip of coffee. I touched on a little bit of something last week that I was going to talk about at a later date. well, it's a later date, so I guess I'm going to talk about it today. It's called crippling self-doubt, also known as the imposter syndrome. Basically, it's, you go to play a show and you see someone, you play a show, or you're watching YouTube, or you're practicing guitar, or whatever instrument, or I guess art form even, it goes to pretty much anything, where you see somebody playing, or you see someone on YouTube, or you see somebody doing something that, the same kind of thing that you do, only like way better. Maybe not even way better, but just different, but really good, or whatever. And you automatically doubt what you do. Why am I doing this? You automatically like, oh, I don't belong here. No matter what you do, you don't fit in. You're not good enough. We've kind of all seen that. You go see a giant band, or whoever's doing whatever is just ripping. Either the singer is just top notch, and you're a singer, and you're like, oh, well, I'm nothing because I can't do that. Guitar player, drummer, everyone, bass player, same thing. This always comes in. You're with musicians. It pretty much always creeps in. It depends just on how good you don't sell it. Yeah, just this overwhelming feeling of not fitting in. You don't feel like you belong. You're not as talented as you are. The other thing is, everybody knows it. You look at somebody, and they look at you, and you think they go, oh. You just think like, oh, they know. I'm caught. They know I'm found out. It's over. I don't even know why I'm doing this. That's what crippling self-doubt is. Imposter syndrome. That's another way to say it. You're going to get found out. That's what it is. We all fight this. I think everybody fights this at some point. Even if you are that big band that other people come to see and go, oh man, I'm not as good as that. At some point in your life, you had that too. I think it's almost a necessary evil. Some people get over it. A lot of people get over it. I think if that some don't, but I think a lot of people end up getting over it, or they learn how to almost harness that and push them to become better. Even if no one is going, oh, this guy's no good. You kind of pretend in your head that they are, so you practice harder, you learn more, you become better. And that's a great thing. But then there's another side of it too, where you can let it bury you. You never get over it. You just let it consume you. I think a lot of people quit doing that. That's not good either. Large band, small band, really talented, not so talented. You're worth something. You're needed. There's somebody that needs to hear what you're saying. If it's the words you're singing, or the guitar melodies and harmonies you're playing, or the rhythms or the melody that the bass player and the drummer are locking in on, someone I think needs to hear that. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter how big time, small time, whatever. There's someone that needs to hear what you're saying. I think it also comes from the belief, what am I trying to say here? Being a musician, you need to get positive feedback. It's always positive feedback. It always stems on what other people think about what you're doing. People have to support you, so they spend money on you. And if you want to support yourself being a musician, you have to have people spend money on you. So that can be a lot of pressure, especially if your livelihood depends on it. You know, if it's your weekend hustle, then you can get away with not caring as much if you make anything. Most of the time we don't anyways. But there's a lot hinging on if you pay your bills playing music. I talked about it last week about having to, we really got to support our artist friends. This is a little different. I think this just comes from, these are part of the self-doubts of being a musician or an artist, is when you're on your own as far as, you write your music, you do this, you do the music that you want to do, but it still hinges on people liking it. So like I said before, so they'll spend money on you. It's kind of a mind fuck. It really is. It's a hard thing to look past sometimes, especially when things aren't going well, or you think you're not getting the breaks you feel you worked for, you earned. Not trying to be a jerk about saying, "Oh, I earned this," but no, just by your hard work, you really you got to think, man, it's got to pay off sometime. It's got to pay off sometime, and sometimes it just takes. It's really hard to be patient. That all feeds back into crippling self-doubt, because if you put all this time, effort, money into writing these songs, recording these songs, and you're not getting the response you feel like you should get, that takes your confidence away. And then that feeds into, I'm going to get found out. Someone, they know I gotta be a fake. I can't be as good as I think I am. It all comes back to that. And I think that's where it comes from. It's this circle of, we, like I said, start by ourselves, writing our own music, and then it's got to be put out to the people. And then once it gets out there, all bets are off. You can't do anything after that. As far as making people like your music, they're either going to like it or they're not. How many bands have we listened to that, you get 20 people together, 10 of them like it and the other 10 don't. You don't know. You have no idea what's going to happen after that. And that's unsettling. But at the same time, it's also the other 10 of those 20 people that like the music that will do the lifting of the other 10. And we can get praises and praises and praising from those first 10, but those second 10 are the ones that we focus on. It's such a... being human is so strange, it seems, especially when we put ourselves in the positions to try to entertain other people. Or, me talking to myself in a microphone. Only I'm not hoping people pay for stuff for me so I can pay my bills with this. So I guess I'm lucky at that. Or you guys are lucky. Oh, all right. Let's see. There's there's some places that people think that this imposter syndrome comes from. Kind of, I just touched on it there, being just a silly musician. That could be one, but then there are a lot of things that maybe not into the arts, but there are it goes through all sorts of life here. It Yeah, it goes through every part of life. A lot of people think it's just I mean, like a lot of things, it stems in childhood. Either you're not praised, there's some there's some kids, unfortunately, that just they never get that that pat on the back. Nothing's ever good enough, and that extends into adulthood. Another one is undeserved praise. So, meaning that no matter what, you always did the best. You're always the best. You could have gotten a C. Well, that blaming somebody else. That teacher had it out for you. Yada yada yada. Or you just you get a participate. I can speak. Participation trophy. Hey, there we go. You're a winner even though you didn't win. You know. It kind of a lack. There's a that kind of leads into like a lack of entitlement, whereas you do all the work and someone else gets the praise for it, or your work gets downplayed, but someone right next to you, they did the same kind of thing and they get like showered with praise. So it's another one of those you're constantly not good enough kind of things. I read too that like family labels, I didn't really grow up having this, but I know there's lots of people that do, where it's like, oh, she's the smart one. He's the sensitive one, so they get treated differently. And then that stigma, gets attached to you. And again, that's a hard thing to shake. All these are hard things to shake, especially if that happens during childhood. That kind of lives with you your whole life. So a couple ways to get over this kind of, you got to accept the praise. You don't doubt it. It's really hard, especially most people are, I don't think a lot of people really accept praise all that well. I know I really don't. My wife doesn't either, but you always want it. You always want it, and when you get it, you don't believe it. It reminds me of the when you play with a band, and like let's say you're getting ready for your own set or something like that. So just in passing, you see somebody in the band, hey, good set. I never had the balls to do it because I wouldn't want it done to me, but a lot of times, hey, good set. Oh yeah, what did you like about it? Don't pull that. Don't pull that. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying here is before is the art form. The art form needs you. I think that's the main thing of all this is the art form needs you. You have something to say. It may not be as good as, player A, not the same as player B, but that doesn't mean it's not important. Someone always needs to hear what you say. There's somebody. They may not be listening today. They might not be listening next week, but there's some point that they're listening. You're going to find that one person that says, out of everything that I've heard, this is what I needed, and you're the one that that said it. They're going to be your biggest fan, and they're also going to be your most diehard fan. And those are the fans that you want. You don't want the fly by night fans, here at night, gone tomorrow morning. You want the ones that no matter what, they're going to support you. You could have put out 2 bad albums, but that album 3 albums ago, that was the one that got me out of whatever. They're going to stick with you. They're going to believe in you. They're going to constantly believe in you. You just have to find those people. And that's the main thing to get over this self-doubt, this imposter syndrome. So you belong. You're supposed to be there. Maybe it won't manifest in, the being able to support yourself, which is okay. Most musicians don't support themselves. We went into this last week a bit. Most musicians cannot support themselves playing music, but that doesn't mean your voice can't be heard. So you got to stop. You're supposed to be there for somebody. Your art needs to be heard. The art needs you. And you just have to stop comparing yourself to everybody. It's very difficult. That leads into this last thing is just you got to love what you have. If you compare yourself to somebody, you become envious, and you could be jealous and not having what they have, and then you stop being happy for what you do have. And that's a dark place to be in. You don't want to be there. You definitely don't want to be there. But you do want to be there for your art. That's where you need to be. So screw the self-doubt. Screw the imposter syndrome. It's not worth it. It's there. You got to push that shit away. You got to push that shit away. Because the art needs you. You're the one that chooses how you feel. You choose to either be envious and compare yourself, or you choose to be happy with what you have. So yeah, that's a way to get over it. The art needs you. The fans need you. We need you. So just be you. I didn't know exactly where I was going to go with any of this. I appreciate listening. One other announcement right quick is 20 Watt Tombstone, who I played the song last week, Your Man's a Jerk. Hope you guys went and bought that or listened to it on YouTube. Watch that video. It's freaking hilarious. They are doing a Facebook Live concert tomorrow night, I believe at 7 p.m. That would be April 13th. It's called Benefit for COVID-19. This is how good these people are. Okay, they both pay their bill. They pay their bills with rock and roll, and yet during this time, they're still putting on a benefit. You can donate, and all the proceeds go to benefiting this COVID-19. I don't know how you get. I don't know how better people. I don't know how there's such good people in this world. Tom and Mitch, y'all are fantastic. You deserve everything. You know, you guys deserve everything in this world. So please, anybody listening to this, find 20 Watt Tombstone on the Facebook machine tomorrow night. I believe it's around 7. I know there's an event page, but they're going to go live. They have a couple of sponsors. They have like a sound person. You know, it's not going to be just somebody recording on a cell phone. This seems to be like it's going to be a real deal here. And they're awesome people for a great cause. So follow the links that I had last week. I think it's at 20 Watt Tombstone on the Facebook. So find them there and tune in and donate some money to benefit so we can beat this stupid thing and get back some semblance of normalcy here. Hopefully it doesn't go back to normal. I think there's lessons that need to be learned out of this. Hopefully we can all just be better. You know, be better humans, better people, be better to everybody. Smile at your neighbor, whatever. Give them air high fives right now. And just remember that screw this crippling self-doubt thing. Your art needs you. The fans need you. We need you. Thank you very much. Have happy Easter, and we'll talk to you next week.